So it's been a little over 3 days at this point since Donald Trump got on Truth Social and called for the termination, as he put it, of the United States Constitution, as well as other laws and regulations here in the United States. His call was, of course, in response to the nothing burger that was the Twitter files released by Matt Taibbi, courtesy of Elon Musk, on Friday evening. So here is what Donald Trump had to say. So, with the revelation of massive and widespread fraud and deception and working closely with big tech companies, the DNC and the Democrat Party, do you throw the presidential election results of 2020 out and declare the rightful winner? Or do you have a new election? A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Our great founders did not want and would not condone false and fraudulent elections. Now, in case you haven't followed the so-called Twitter files, what it was it showed that the DNC and the Biden campaign asked Twitter to remove inappropriate pictures of Hunter Biden from their platform. Pictures that, of course, showed not just Hunter Biden's naked body, but the naked bodies of other individuals with whom he was sharing a bed. By the way, that is something that Twitter does not even allow on their platform, so the DNC didn't even really overstep their bounds. All they did was say, hey, Twitter, could you please look at these tweets here? They're violating your policies. Could you take them down? That's the big reveal of the Twitter files. Oh, but Taibbi also casually glossed over the fact that the Trump administration, not the Trump campaign, the actual Trump administration that was in charge of our government, also asked them to do similar things by removing tweets. But he didn't get into details about that, of course, because it would make Republicans look bad. And Taibbi's a contrarian piece of crap now, so he's just going to try to make Democrats look bad and totally ignore all the Republican stuff that was coming from the federal government itself, which that part actually is a big deal. The Hunter Biden stuff, not so much. But either way, Donald Trump called, as you heard, for the termination of the Constitution, rules, articles, everything. And Republicans have either been completely silent about it or they've just said, no big deal. Trump says a lot of things. One of them, of course, Sunday, Republican Representative Dave Joyce from Ohio, during an appearance on ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos, was asked about Trump's comments like, hey, your guy running for president wants to terminate the U.S. Constitution. What do you think about that? And this is what Republican Representative Joyce had to say. I will support whoever the Republican nominee is. He says a lot of things. I can't really, be chasing every one of these crazy statements that come about from any of these candidates at the moment. It's just crazy. Trump says a lot of things, so we just have to ignore it. And then, of course, he went on to say that Trump's claims are fantasy, and let's not dwell too much in the fantasy. They're not fantasy. The man that served as president for 4 years, who is currently running for president again, called for the termination of the U.S. Constitution based on a, highly edited report from a hack journalist from the right-wing owner of Twitter. Even if the DNC, which we know from the emails, okay, the DNC was communicating with Twitter, that doesn't mean the election was stolen. It doesn't mean the election was fraudulent. It doesn't mean that the election was even swayed in any way. This is a private group talking to a private company getting posts removed that violated their terms of service. And Donald Trump is such a whiny little bitch, which I think is the best way to describe him at this point, that he is now calling to overturn every law in the United States so that he gets to play president again. And Republicans, their silence on this issue is absolutely deafening.
One of today's video sponsors is Lomi by Pela. If you're like me, you've always felt a little bit of guilt about all the food waste that you create when you're cooking, and I've always wanted to compost my scraps but didn't have the time or energy to devote to that project. Lomi takes the hassle out of composting for you. Lomi allows me to turn my food waste into dirt with the push of a button. Lomi is a countertop electric composter that turns scraps to dirt in under 4 hours. There's no smell when it runs, and it's really quiet too. And thanks to Lomi, I have way less garbage each week. Since I got my Lomi, I throw out so much less garbage, it's unbelievable, which that means it's not going to landfills and producing methane. Instead, I get to turn my waste into nutrient-rich dirt that I can feed to my plants. I feel great knowing that I'm composting and creating soil instead of waste. I have a basically limitless supply of dirt for my herb and pepper gardens. My kids are absolutely fascinated with the Lomi, and they actually now love helping me in the kitchen so that they get to be the ones to put the vegetable scraps into the Lomi and let it work its magic. So if you want to start making a positive environmental impact or just make cleanup after dinner that much easier, Lomi is perfect for you. Head to lomi.com/ROF and use the promo code ROF to get $50 off your Lomi. That's $50 off when you head to lomi.com/ROF and use promo code ROF at checkout. Food waste is gross. Lomi is your solution. You'll want to move quickly as they're over 80% already sold out for October.